Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing um, what I think of as my favourite sports movies. A couple of weeks ago, I did one on sport documentaries, and these are movies that might have passed you by. They're not the obvious ones on the whole, but movies I feel, yeah, you should definitely take a look at. And the first one is Miracle. It's a Disney movie, but it's probably my most watched sports movie of all time. Uh, at least once a year, Miracle is about the 1980 Olympics, and specifically it revolves around the world of ice hockey. Herb Brooks is the coach. He's quite a maverick coach, played by, of course, the irreplaceable Kurt Russell. And he comes across as, well, first of all, he decides to change the tactics of the team. For 8 years, they've been destroyed by Russian teams, even though they've used all-star players. So he comes in with the radical idea, I'm not building a team of robots, I need a team. And through the process, which you will see over the 2 hours, it shows what a coach can do for a team, especially, of course, if that team has talent. It's very heartwarming. It's a very patriotic, but it's a bloody good movie. And if you've not seen it, my God, it's a must-see. If you like sport and you like movies, please, Miracle. Second movie I'm going to discuss is The Damned United, which of course centres around Brian's Clough time at Leeds United. And again, brilliantly acted by Martin Sheen as that lovable rogue Cloughie. One thing I really love on the movie is that it brings to life, in many ways, the hardships of the players, the managers, the supporters of that time frame, which of course was the 70s. It's very much fictitious. Of course, there are certain things that Cloughie did that are there within the movie, but a lot of it, yeah. But it's a brilliant movie, lots of laugh out louds. I mean, as a Brian Clough supporter, should have been a manager of England. The Damned United, brilliant title. I'm a Bradford supporter, and I must admit, in the late 70s and early 80s, I think as a Bradford supporter I got more fun than most Leeds supporters. But it was Leeds everywhere in Yorkshire. There was only one team, which became a bit of a bore. Anyway, The Damned United, if you haven't seen it, you better damn well do so soon. My next is North Face, and I get the chills just thinking about this movie. Based in the 1930s, it's about two German climbers. This is during Hitler's rise, so there's a little bit of that. And what they want to do is attack the north face of the Eiger. Of course, it shows the equipment they used, and it shows the heroism of the teams that were sent out to try and save these two amazing individuals. It goes without saying they don't make it, but there's a lot of poignant parts to the movie. Whether you like climbing or not, again, as with most sports movies, is irrelevant. You will definitely be enthralled by this movie. It's got something most movies don't have, and it's also got a lot of grit. Anyway, North Face, check it out. The next is probably the most popular of the movies I'm going to recommend, but I'm still going to recommend it anyway, and it's Seabiscuit, with two of my favourite actors, Tobey Maguire and, of course, Jeff Bridges. And what I like about Seabiscuit is its way of developing the Great Depression into the movie. And it's a movie that shines not just for the acting, but frankly, it's not a rags to riches story in the sense for Jeff Bridges' character, but Maguire's character, Red, oh my God, you know, I mean, he was at the bottom, and of course he gets to be the jockey of the Great Seabiscuit, though he doesn't end up riding him in the main race. Fabulous movie. Absolutely my favourite horse racing movie of all time. If you want to take a snack, Seabiscuit. Lagan, or Once Upon a Time in India, I was recommended when I was teaching at Gandhi in Jakarta, and I can't say I love Bollywood movies. Yes, I've seen Slumdog Millionaire, which came out a lot later, but this was my first proper taste of watching in its entirety a Bollywood movie, and yeah, it's bloody great. Of course, there's the themes of colonialism in it, but to take away from that the songs are brilliant, and of course there's many of those. I don't speak Hindi, so I couldn't understand the majority, but of course it's all subtitled. But it's a great story, and it's fun, and if you've never seen it, Lagan. My next movie is Eddie the Eagle. It was a toss-up between this and Cool Runnings. Both have a similar premise of a group or a certain individual going out of their comfort zone. And I'm promising you the idea of an Englishman ski jumping and making the Olympics absolutely phenomenal. And of course he had no chance, but that's not what the story's about. The story, I mean, watch it. I mean, the bottom line is you can see how he properly won the hearts and minds of everyone, not taking the sport seriously. You know, it's the old cliche, taking part is more important than winning. And just as a forethought here, my aunt and uncle went to see him open the Christmas lights in Morecambe. This is a long time ago, and they said of all the celebrities, and they'd been to quite a few of the openings, of all the celebrities they'd ever chosen, he was the most down to earth, which also says a lot for old Eddie the Eagle. Well worth the watch. My next movie is Eddie the Eagle. It was a toss-up between this and Cool Runnings. Both have a similar premise of a group or a certain individual going out of their comfort zone. And I'm promising you the idea of an Englishman ski jumping and making the Olympics absolutely phenomenal. And of course he had no chance, but that's not what the story's about. The story, I mean, watch it. I mean, the bottom line is you can see how he properly won the hearts and minds of everyone, not taking the sport seriously. You know, it's the old cliche, taking part is more important than winning. And just as a forethought here, my aunt and uncle went to see him open the Christmas lights in Morecambe. This is a long time ago, and they said of all the celebrities, and they'd been to quite a few of the openings, of all the celebrities they'd ever chosen, he was the most down to earth, which also says a lot for old Eddie the Eagle. Well worth the watch. Rush, the story of the rivalries between Niki Lauda and James Hunt, who, although their personalities and looks were polar opposites, they shared a camaraderie in the battlefield of F1. I thought it was acted well, the scenes of the racing was done well. They were warriors on wheels in those times. Mustn't forget, it was the most dangerous sport in the world in the 70s, was F1. It's a lot less dangerous now, but in those days fatalities were all over the place. And of course it brings up Lauda's horrific crash, and that he was able to compete with Hunt at the end and almost won the title is again an amazing story within the story of Rush. Get a chance, rush out, watch it, enjoy it, and those are my picks for sports movies to look out for when you've got a few hours to spare. As always, bye-bye. Don't be a sheep.